So in Sukhasana, so just our easy pose to begin. So you could sit on a block here if you wanted to, have to. And we'll just sit, first of all, just with your arms. So you can either have your hands on your knees or you can have your hands down by your side. And again, if Sukhasana is not an easy position for you, then just sit in any other way. But try and relax as much as you can through your shoulders. Maybe lift through the crown of the head, but if you want to, you can also drop your chin down a little bit, and either just lowering your gaze or maybe closing the eyes down. And just taking a few moments just to come away from your day and begin to draw your attention inwards. Starting to be aware of your breath just as it moves in through your nose, along the back of your throat, and then down into your belly. Just allowing the breath just to be smooth and thorough. As your breath starts to even out, then just notice your body, just how it feels. Try as much as possible to lengthen through your spine and to allow the knees just to drop down a little bit. So trying to release tension in the muscles and the joints of your body. Your body begins to release its hold, then just notice how you feel. Just allowing your thoughts just to come and go. So today we're going to start with a little mudra, because we're going to be talking about the third chakra, which is called Manipura. And this chakra is located above your belly button and beneath your sternum. So it's bright yellow in colour. So the mudra that we're going to do, if you take your right hand and you're just going to create a fist with it, with the thumb sticking out at the top. And then your left hand is just going to sit, and you can just let it sit on your legs here. So we're just going to cup the hand a little bit. And then you place your right fist into that cupped hand. And this is Agni Mudra, which is a fire mudra. And it helps us with determination and really kind of self-worth, if you like. And the Manipura Chakra, sometimes if it is blocked in any way, it can result in us feeling kind of maybe overwhelmed, a lack of confidence. We want to try today to kind of have that chakra in equilibrium. So the idea is that it's not too, we don't become too overwhelming and too kind of bossy, but we're kind of the right shape of Manipura Chakra for you. And everybody's will be slightly different. So just trying to imagine, if you can, just that yellow glowing aspect just above your belly button. And you'll hear people saying like a fire in your belly, and it's that kind of thing that we're referring to, that enthusiasm and really just a zest for life, if you like. And the mudra will just help us to really try and tune into that. Okay, we'll take one more deep inhale here. We'll slowly just release the mudra, so release your hands, maybe give them a little shake out. And from here, we'll take a little twist. So again, trying to work through the center of the body. So if you just take your left hand just gently onto your right knee and take your right fingertips behind you. Come up onto your fingertips and just gently draw yourself round. And if we pull the belly kind of in and up in our twists, we can sometimes twist a little bit further. Maybe looking over your shoulder and breathing into what you find. So we'll slowly release that back to the center. We'll just come in the other way. So again, just taking your right hand onto your left knee, take your fingertips behind you and just draw yourself around. So not being aggressive with it, just gently moving into that twist. So the other aspect of our Manipura Chakra is because it's located kind of in the stomach area, it can result in problems with your digestion and even through the kidneys, sometimes even skin problems if it's kind of out of sequence. So we want to try and just bring it back in to an even keel. Okay, we'll slowly release that. From there, we're just going to bring the legs out in front. So if you just bring your legs out, we're going to do a little bit through our boat pose or Navasana just to warm up through that Manipura Chakra. So I'll turn to the side, but you can just stay where you are. So sit up onto your sit bones. You can take the hands behind the back of your thighs here. And if you want, you can start just lifting one foot off the ground and maybe start to lift the other one. And you can keep your feet fairly low to the ground. So just work where it feels right, but try and get a sense of drawing the chest forwards and up. And then from there, if you want to, you could lift your feet up a little bit higher. Or you maybe want to try and straighten the legs. But whatever version of Navasana you do, just moving into it in your own way. Maybe reaching the hands, if that feels okay. But lift through the chest, draw the belly in. And just imagine that glowing yellow flame. Okay, we'll take one more deep inhale. Slowly release your feet back down. You can come forwards a little bit. We'll do that one more time. So again, just coming into it in your own way. So sitting up onto your sit bones. Maybe start to take the hands behind the back of the legs and lift your feet. Taking it to any position. So if you want to lift your feet up higher or straightening through your legs and do that. And maybe releasing the hands. But just very gently, just building a little bit of heat. One more breath if you can. And slowly release the feet back down. Okay, from here we are going to make our way onto our backs, but you're going to do it very slowly. So you're going to sit with your feet on the ground this time. And take your hands behind the back of your thighs. So take a deep breath in and then we'll just slowly lower back. So maybe just a halfway here. And then make your way back up again. Again, when you're ready, deep breath in. Just move back a little bit. And then move back up. On this next one, we'll start to lower all the way down. So just take your time and just lower yourself all the way to the ground. Again, if you need to, you can take your hands down. You can release your hands and slowly lower, but take your time. Good. Okay, when you get there, we'll take the feet nice and long. So you're going to spread your feet all the way down towards the ground. We're coming in for Bananasana. So it's a kind of a banana shape to give you a little bit of clue. But we'll move your shoulders, first of all, just over towards the left side of your mat. So you can use your elbows and just shuffle your shoulders over towards the left. And then from here, we're going to walk your feet over towards the left as well. So your hips stay towards the right side of your mat. So walk your feet over. And then if you want to, you could lift your right foot and you could cross it over the top of your left. You don't have to. So the legs are nice and straight. Both hips are down, so we're not lifting through your hip. And then if you want to, I like to take my arms just overhead, but again, if that feels too much, then don't. Just bend at the elbows and you can grab hold of opposite elbows with the arms overhead if you'd like. And just breathing into the side of your body. Again, the hips are down. And try and relax into it.
take one more deep inhale here. Slowly release your arms first of all, so just release them and bring them down by your side. And then we'll walk the feet back towards the center. So we'll go the other way. So again, start to shuffle your shoulders over towards that right side of your mat. So maybe towards the edge of it. And then start to walk your feet over towards the right edge of your mat as well. And then maybe lift your left leg and cross it over your right. Try and keep your hips down. And if you like to sit your arms overhead, then do that. Maybe clasp elbows. And just stretching through that side body. So a lot of the time we kind of ignore the side body quite a bit. So just trying to stretch it out. And then when you're ready, slowly release the hands all the way down and start to make your way back towards the center again. So again, uncross your legs. Maybe draw the feet towards you and the knees in towards your chest. Now from here, we're going to come into a happy baby. So again, you can just keep your knees in towards your chest here. If you feel that's enough, maybe take the hands behind the back of your calves or your ankles, or maybe grab hold of the soles of your feet. Again, just very gently pressing down through the lower back. Maybe moving a little bit side to side. Take one more deep inhale. Slowly release your feet all the way back down. So this time have your feet flat on the floor, and we'll come in for a little bridge here. So if you spread your toes and spread your hands and start to lift your hips up off the ground. So just stretching through your spine. So tilt the pelvis a little bit. Just move up to where it feels right. So not in an extreme way. So we're just warming up through your spine. But press down through your feet and try and engage through the inner thighs here. We'll take one more deep inhale. When you're ready, start to lower down. So from the upper part of your back, start to lower yourself all the way back down. When you come in, again, just pick up your feet and draw your knees back in. And we'll bring the knees just over your hips. So again, still warming up through the center of your body. The hands can go behind the back of your head, if you like, elbows back. And you can keep the upper body on the ground or maybe lift the upper body. So we're going to reach your hands. So if you reach your left hand to the outside of your right knee, as you do that, extend away through your left leg. And come back to the center, and we'll do that the other way. So again, just reach along the side, outside of that leg, and then back in towards the center. So breathing in, reach over as you extend the leg, and breathing out back into the center. Just working nice and slowly, just twisting again through the body, and just gently warming up through your core. Well done. We'll just do one more of these on either side. And last one. And make your way back in. So again, you can draw your knees to your chest. We're just going to make our way up to all fours now. So you can roll over onto your side if you'd like. You can roll up, whatever feels right to you. And as you come up, just make your way into all fours. So you could, if you wanted to, come down onto your elbows for the next bit, if that helps, but just work where you can with that. But do spread your hands and have the knees underneath your hips. So still working through this Manipura Chakra. On an inhale, we're going to pull the knee in towards your chest. So you're going to round through your back. And then extend the leg behind you. So just stretch it away. Again, you could have it on the ground if you want. So we'll do that again. To exhale, draw the knee in round your back. And on the inhale, press it away. We'll do that one more time. So draw the knee in round your back. And then press the leg away. And when the leg's pressed away, we're going to bend through that leg. Now, only if it feels right, and if you want to, you can reach back for that foot with your left hand. You don't have to. You can grab hold of the foot. This time, just keep your chest forward, so lengthen through your spine. Push your foot into your hand, so we're not opening up through the shoulder too much. Take one more deep inhale. Release that hand, and then just push the foot up, so really arch your back. And then draw the knee in towards your chest. As you do that, we're going to step that foot up towards the top of your mat. So from here, we're going to move up into Anjaneyasana. So lift the hands and reach them up. Not coming too deeply into it, because we are also going to do a little twist here. So with your right foot forward, if you take your left hand just to the outside of your right knee, and then take your right hand just behind you and just lay it on your back. So try and encourage the tailbone down, but then rotate a little bit round towards that right side. Okay, so just a gentle twist. Okay, one more deep inhale. Slowly come back to the center, and we'll take the hands down towards the ground. So from there, if you tuck your toes under on the back leg and lift your knee, we'll just step back to plank. From there, we'll lower down, so you could bend your knees and then bend your elbows and just lower yourself all the way down. When you get there, spread your toes behind you, have your hands underneath your shoulders. We're coming up for 3 little baby cobras, but we're going to try and lift the hands up. So as you inhale, lift the chest, lift the hands up off the ground. And on the exhale, release back down. So do that again. So inhale, coming up, lift the hands a little bit off the ground if you can. And exhale to lower. Okay, so we'll do that one more time. So rising up, press the toes down, and then release all the way back down. Okay, from here, just push yourself up onto your knees, and we'll walk the knees back in again. We'll do a couple of cat-cows here just before we move to the other side. So just on an inhale, dropping the belly, pulling the heart forwards, and then rounding in through your back. So do that again. So again, just lifting up through the chest, and then really rounding, so pushing through your upper back and shoulders. And we'll do that one more time. And then round in. Okay, come back to that neutral position. So we'll do the same thing with the legs. So on an exhale, if you pull your knee in towards your chest, so round your back. And then as you inhale, just extending that leg behind us. So again, draw the knee in and extend it away. Okay, do that once more. And then as you extend your leg behind you, just start to bend through that knee. Again, you can just stay here. If you want to, you could reach back with your right hand, grab hold of the foot, and then start to press your foot into your hand. Still keeping the shoulders facing down towards your mat, drawing your belly in. Now that one more deep inhale. Now release the foot, keep the foot where it is, and then just push it up again, so you're really arching through your back. And then draw the knee all the way in and step that foot up towards the top of your mat. So just take your time. So again, maybe keeping that right knee kind of where it is rather than taking it back. So coming in for that twist. So on the inhale, just move up first of all, so to Anjaneyasana. So not deepening the stretch too much. And then taking your right hand just to the outside of that left knee. And then take your left hand behind you, so it just rests on your low back. And then start to twist around a little bit. So nice and gently, keeping the hips level. So you've got your hand there, so you can see, you can feel your hips are level, and the tailbone drops down. And then slowly release back towards the center. So again, hands to the mat, tuck your toes under and lift the back knee. Step to plank again, lowering the knees if you'd like, or just bend your elbows and lower yourself all the way down. So again, spread the toes behind you and spread the hands. So on the inhale, coming up to that cobra, maybe lifting your hands up off the ground. On the exhale, just slowly release all the way back down. So do that again. So inhale, coming up. Good, lift the hands a little off the ground if you can. And exhale, releasing down. So do that once more. Again, if it's too much to lift the hands, you can always leave them on the ground. And release down. Okay, from here again, just push yourself back up. So just onto your knees first of all. And then this time we'll tuck the toes and we'll lift the hips to downward facing dog. So coming into this down dog, maybe pedal your feet out a little bit. Try and lift through your hips, spread your hands. And again, you can always come to child's pose if that is a better position for you. So if you're feeling it in your shoulder and then just a child's pose whenever we're doing this down dog. Well done. We'll take one more deep inhale here. Now from here, we're going to lift up through your right leg. So again, if this doesn't suit you, then don't do it. But lift your right leg up. And then as you breathe in, we're going to pull the knee forwards and move forwards to plank a little bit. So do that again. So push up and back, downward facing dog. And then bring the leg in. So you can always do this with both feet on the ground if that felt better. Do it once more. This time as you pull the knee in, we're going to step your right foot up towards the top. So just step your foot in. So we're in this high or runner's lunge position. And from there we'll come in for a twist. So we'll keep the left hand on the ground. Your right hand could go to your knee, or you could reach up with that right hand, just whatever feels right. And you can always lower the back knee if that feels better as well. Have to have the back knee lifted. Okay, take one more deep inhale. Release the right hand back down. Again, if you've got your back knee lift on the ground, lift it up. Step to plank. This time lower down. So again, you could bend your knees or just to chaturanga. Cobra or upward facing. And exhale, make your way back. Downward facing dog or child's pose, whatever suits you. Deep breath in through your nose. And this time we're just going to take a big sigh out your mouth. Just letting the heat dissipate as we start to warm up. Okay, we'll do that on the other side. So when you're ready, inhale, lift through your left leg. And on the exhale, draw the knee in towards your chest as you move forwards to plank. So do that again. So inhale, moving up and back. And again, you could keep your feet on the ground and move yourself forward. Do that once more. So moving up. This time, draw your knee in, but we're going to step that left foot up towards the top of your mat. So again, when you get there, you could lower your back knee. We'll come in for that twist. So right hand to the ground in a block, left hand to your knee, or maybe reach and open up with the left hand. And breathing in and out through your nose still, just pay attention to your breath. Well done, one more deep inhale. Release the hands back down towards the ground. Step to plank, lower in your own waist, the knees down, lower down, or just to chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing or cobra. And on the exhale, make your way back, downward facing dog. So again, just breathing deeply. Maybe take that deep breath in again and just let it out your mouth. Okay, we'll take one more deep inhale. When you're ready, lift your heels up. We'll just walk with your feet just up towards the top of your mat. So just take your time, unplugging your hands. When you get to the top, bend your knees and let the body just fold forwards. Maybe take hold of your elbows and gently sway side to side. Okay, when you're ready, release the hands back down.
On an inhale, we'll lengthen forwards. And on the exhale, just folding back in. As you inhale, reach up. And on the exhale, just draw the palms towards the center of your heart. Maybe just closing your eyes down. Maybe visualizing that bright yellow flame. Okay, when you're ready, we'll open the eyes, release the hands. So we'll come in, we'll do a little bit of balance. We're going to start in chair pose today, so Utkatasana. So if you start with your feet hip distance, and then we'll bend the knees and reach the arms. So just coming in, sinking the hips, weight back in the heels. Arms can be reaching up or bring them towards the center, it doesn't really matter. But the tailbone points down a little bit. And don't have the feet too wide here, so you might want to walk them in a little bit. Try not to let the knees drop in. Now from here, bring the palms just towards the center of your heart. Now you don't have to do the next bit, but if you can, we're going to start to take the weight into your left foot and lift your right foot just a little bit off the ground. Again, if that doesn't work for you, keep them both down. And then start to straighten through the leg and lift up through that right knee. But again, if it didn't work, you can just lift your right knee now. So we're coming in for a twist. So your left hand is either going to go on your left knee or your left shin, wherever that works for you. And then your right hand is just going to reach behind you. Just coming in for a gentlish twist. Again, use a wall if you need to move to where you want to go. Again, try and lift and pull the belly button up and in. Okay, one more deep inhale. And we'll slowly release the hands and release the foot all the way back down towards the ground. So we'll try that on the other side. Again, you don't have to do that bit where we lift the leg, but if you have your feet just maybe slightly narrower than hip distance, we'll come back into that chair. So we'll push the hips back and draw the arms forward. So tailbone sinks down a little bit. Try not to arch the back too much. Just watch the knees are not rolling in, but we want them to use the inner thighs to control where the knees are. Okay, take one more deep inhale. Bring the palms towards the center of your heart. So again, you don't have to do this one, but if you want to, lean into your right leg a little bit and start to lift your left foot just a little bit off the ground. And then when you're ready, slowly start to straighten through your right leg, lift the left knee up. Good, and then from here, coming into the twist again, so taking that hand either onto the knee or the shin, reaching back. Good, opening up through the chest, maybe even looking behind you at that hand. If you want to challenge your balance a little bit more, then you can do that. Well done, one more deep inhale. Slowly back to the center. Release the feet down and just bring the palms towards your heart. And just take a moment just to notice how that feels. Okay, when you're ready, we'll release the hands, open the eyes. So we're going to come up towards the top of your mat now. So we will do a little sun salutation to come into this. If you've had enough of them today, then you can just step back with your left leg to warrior two, and that's where we'll start. In fact, to high lunge, that's where we'll start. Otherwise, at the top of your mat, feet together or a little bit apart, spread your toes and lengthen through your legs. On an inhale, reach up with your arms, and on the exhale, folding forwards towards your legs. Inhale, lengthen, and on the exhale, we'll step back with both feet, so coming into a plank position. So again, you could lower your knees, and then lower down to chaturanga or the floor. Inhale, upward facing, and on the exhale, make your way back, downward facing dog. So when you're ready again, on an inhale, lift through that back leg. And on the exhale, pull your knee towards your chest as you make your way forwards to plank. So this time we'll just step up towards the top. So just step towards the top with that right leg.
We're in this lunge position. We're going to move to high lunge. So pull your belly in, and on the inhale, reach up with the arms. So make sure your feet are aligned here. So you don't want to have yourself in too straight a line that you're feeling off balance. So maybe move that right foot out to the side a little bit if you'd like. Lift the shoulders, and the hips are forwards. And there is a little tilt just to make sure you're not arching your back. And you can always bend that back knee. Now we're going to come in for a twist here. Again, it's optional, but we're going to bring the palms towards the center of your heart. And then it's just this easy twist. So we're going to take the left elbow to the outside of the right knee, and then start to draw that right elbow up a little bit. Again, if it doesn't feel right, then don't do it. Good, it looks very nice though. So drawing the navel up and in that Manipura Chakra to activate the twist a little bit more. Okay, we'll take one more deep inhale. From there, bring your hands back towards the center. And we're going to move to warrior two. So if you come up, first of all, spin on the heel of your back leg. So place that heel down. Front toes face forwards. And then stretch the arms forwards and back. So again, drawing yourself in a little bit. Inner thighs draw in. And the shoulders draw back. Okay, we're going to move. It's called a dancing warrior sometimes. We're going to move through a reverse warrior. So we're going to turn that right hand up. As we move back, we just bring the left arm kind of under. So it's kind of as if you're dancing. And then as you move into side angle, again, we just reverse the arms. We're not actually laying that arm down. It's just quite light. So we'll do that again. So inhale, come up. To reverse, and then into side angle. So just really quite soft, floaty arms as you do it. So do that again. So inhale, come up, and exhale. So we'll come into our side angle this time. So again, maybe just lay that forearm down. Maybe start to reach the arm up. So we are kind of going through two versions of side angle at the moment, just because some works for some people and some works for others. But we're reaching the arm past your ear this time. So we're creating that long straight line. Again, you could use a block, you could take your hand down, as long as you can still maintain that rotation of your chest. Okay, we'll take one more deep inhale here. We'll start to move up, so draw your belly in, come back up, and then straighten through your front leg. So we are going to move into triangle. So again, you might need a block, but push back a little bit through your left hip, lengthen through your right arm, and lower down just to where it feels right. So not where you think it should be, but to where it feels right to you. So lengthening through that bottom side waist, opening up, maybe looking up towards the top hand, but just try it and see how it feels. And get that sense of drawing yourself back a little bit, so as if you were leaning against a wall behind you. Okay, we'll take one more deep inhale. When you're ready, pull your belly in, start to rise back up, and we'll rebend that front leg. So look down and bring your hands down towards the ground, turn on the toes of your back leg. And from here, just step back to downward facing dog. So in this down dog, just take your time, maybe give your head a little shake. You can always come into child's pose as well. And then only if you want to, take the vinyasa. So on the inhale, just move forwards to plank. As you exhale, bend your knees lower down if you want to. And then inhale, upward facing. And on the exhale, make your way back. And again, you could have just stayed in down dog, you can stay in child's pose, whatever works for you. Okay, we'll come in and do the other side. So on an inhale, we'll lift through your left leg and then draw your knee in towards your chest as you move forward. So just hug that knee in and then step it up towards the top of your mat. So again, we're coming into this high lunge. So pull your belly in, rise up into the high lunge position. So again, relax the shoulders. Good. Just work where it's right for you. So if the arms are up and it feels too much, then take them down. Bend the back knee and tuck the tailbone under. Okay, when you're ready, we'll bring the palms towards the center of your heart. So again, we'll come in for that twist. So moving forwards, taking that right elbow to the outside of your left knee and rotate round. Again, work where you can without forcing it. Good, and get that little rotation in your belly button. So we want the chest to move round. The hands, if you can, to be in the center of your chest, but just work with what you've got and how it feels without forcing it. Okay, when you're ready, again, we're moving to warrior two. We'll bring the hands to the center. Start to come up. Turn on the toes of that back leg and move back in to warrior two. So take your time. Try and pull back a little bit through that front knee. Spread your toes. So without kind of crunching the toes too much, spread them out. And breathe there. So coming into that dancing warrior again. So when you're ready, again, we're going to round the arms a little bit. We'll lean back into reverse warrior. And then when you're ready, move forwards into that variation on side angle. So do that again. So inhale, coming up, reverse, and exhale, move forward to side angle. And we'll do that one more time. So inhale up, and exhale forwards. So as you come forward this time, make your way into side angle. So laying the forearm, grabbing a block, hand to the ground, and then reaching that top arm past your ear. Good. Very nice. And keep working the legs here. So we're still kind of in warrior two legs. So we still want to push that knee out. If your hand's down by the side, then that's good because you can use the arm to just gently press the knee. Okay, we'll take one more deep inhale. Start to move up. So pull your belly in, start to rise back up. Again, we're moving into warrior two, but then we'll straighten the front leg. So pull back a little bit on your hip, moving into Trikonasana, lengthen forwards. So hands to your shin, block, your ankle, wherever it suits you to be. Maybe your top hand drops behind your back if that's better for you. Well done. We'll take one more deep inhale. Again, start to pull your belly in and rise back up again. And then rebend your front leg. So look towards the ground, take your hands down. Come into that lunge position. And we'll step back to downward facing dog. So again, make any movements. Maybe take that big breath in through your nose and then sigh it out your mouth. Just letting go of the heat that you're generating in your practice. Okay, from here, just slowly move forwards into a plank position. We are going to lower it all the way down, so you could lower your knees first if you like, or bend your elbows and just lower yourself slowly and carefully all the way down to the ground. When you get there, maybe bring your arms down in front of you. Drop your head down and just take a moment again, just seeing how you feel. Okay, from here, we're going to come into bow pose. So again, just work where you can and where it feels right. So we're going to bend the legs. So just bring the heels in. Again, you might just want to stay here with the arms and just lift your legs up. Otherwise, you could reach your arms back and lift the upper body as you lift your legs. Or if you can manage, grabbing hold of your feet. So try and engage through the inner thighs before you even move. Take a deep breath in, and as you breathe out, press your feet into your hands, lift through the legs, lift through the upper body. And use your belly here. So if you fill your belly with air, you can maybe lift a little bit higher. Again, just work when it feels right. Okay, one more deep inhale. And then slowly release everything all the way back down. So release your legs, bring your arms down, drop your head down. So we'll come back in, we'll do one more of these bow poses. Again, you could just rest there if you want, but bend the legs in, reach the arms back or grab hold of your feet or ankles. When you're ready, inhale, and on the exhale, push the feet into the hands, lift the chest, squeeze the legs together. Again, if it doesn't work, then don't force it, just take it to where it feels right. And breathe with it there. One more deep inhale. And slowly release everything all the way back down. So bring your hands in. Maybe bend your knees again, and this time just very gently sway your feet side to side. Okay, from here, we're going to move back into a wide-legged child's pose. So if you have your hands underneath your shoulders, just start to push yourself up and back. So widen your knees just to wherever you feel is right for you. So you can have them pretty wide if you want. Have your feet together. Start to sink your hips back. And then when you get there, you can either have your arms in front, you can drop your head onto your hands, you can have your hands behind you, whatever feels right. Just breathing into the back of the body and the sides. Okay, when you're ready, from there, we'll start to make our way back up. So just walk your hands back towards your knees. And then we're going to bring the legs out in front of us. So we're going to do a wide-legged forward fold. So again, if you want to grab a block or something to sit on, then you can. Remember, you can keep your legs bent here if you'd like, or straighten the legs. Try and sit forwards a little bit onto your sit bones. So either using your hands to do that or sitting on a block to do that. So in your own way, you can come into it. So you can walk your hands forward if you like to come in that way. Or maybe inhale, reaching up. And then on the exhale, moving forwards. Again, we're trying to lengthen your spine. So rather than getting down further, try and think about how long you can go. Try and scan the body and see where in your body you're still holding on. Try and maybe let it go. And use your breath, so allow the breath just to move in, to soften, and then to leave. Okay, we'll take one more deep inhale here. Start to walk yourself back up again. So just taking your time coming out of it. This time we'll bring the soles of your feet together. So we're going to come in for a variation on Baddha Konasana. So again, not too far in with your feet, so you can be a little bit relaxed with them. You might just want to take hold of your feet and just fold in from there. Otherwise, you can take your hands underneath your legs and then up on top of your feet, grabbing hold of your feet again, and then release yourself down. But just if that feels right, just take it to where you can and where it feels best. Try and relax your head and your neck. Allow the knees to loosen a little bit. Okay, we'll take one more deep inhale here. Slowly start to come back up again. So again, maybe just bring your legs out in front of you. Give your legs a little shake. Okay, from here, we're going to come all the way down onto your belly again. So if you make your way down, you could do a push-up, but we'll maybe just roll onto your belly. We're going to come into Sphinx. So our Sphinx position with our arms out in front of us. So the elbows drawing back a little bit. So take your time to position yourself. So really spread your hands. Make sure your elbows are under your shoulders. Again, if you bend one arm in, it should just land into the crease of your elbow. And start to draw the chest through. So by that, I mean, just try and use your fingers as if they had like suction pads on them. And they're able to pull you through a little bit. So pulling the chest through, try and lift your belly button off the ground. So think about that Manipura Chakra, lift it up. And allow the body to relax a little bit. So we're relaxing, but we're drawing up and in. And the shoulders, stay away from the ears. Well done. Take one more deep inhale here. Now we're going to come over to your right side. So you're going to come onto your forearm and we're going to come in for a little side Sphinx. So if you come in, you can bend your right arm in a little bit if you want to, and then move over to your right side. When you get to your right side, you want to try and stack your legs as much as you can. You can have your left hand in front of you, so it would just be there to balance you. And if you want a little bit more, you're going to come up onto your right hand. So again, you come up to your right hand, the left hand can still be there, but it's really quite a firm stretch down that side body. But keep your legs stacked and just see how it feels. If it feels too much, go down onto your elbow again. If you don't need your top hand, then take it away. But breathe into the side body. So a lot of the time, again, we don't stretch that side body very much. Try not to collapse down onto your shoulder, but press the shoulder up and away so there's a big gap there. Okay, take one more deep inhale and then slowly make your way back to Sphinx. So just roll yourself in, take your time. And we'll just come straight in for the other side. So again, maybe bend that left elbow in. I'm going to turn my back to you for a moment and then roll yourself over onto your left side. So again, the legs are completely stacked, the hips are stacked. You might stay here with your top hand down, or you might use your hands to push yourself up onto that hand. So again, push away from the ear, lengthen through your side body. Top hand can be on the ground, or you can just lift it away if you don't need it. Just a nice stretch through the side of your body. Well done. We'll take one more deep inhale and then slowly release back to Sphinx once more. So just coming back into that Sphinx position. Well done. Slowly from there, just lower yourself all the way down to the ground. And we'll reach your hands behind you this time. So we're going to come in for a variation on our locust position. So again, the toes press down, pubic bone down. As you breathe out, just lift through your upper body, reach your fingertips behind you. And then maybe if it feels okay, start to lift your legs up off the ground as well. But if it doesn't, then don't do it. Okay, one more deep inhale. And just slowly release everything all the way back down. Again, maybe bring your hands in front of you and drop your head down. Okay, from here, we are just going to roll over onto your back. So you can make your way, first of all, onto your side and then slowly roll yourself over onto your back. So when you come in, we'll bend the knees. We're going to come in for a little reclined twist here to finish. So it's your choice. You can do whichever reclined twist you want to. I'm going to draw my left knee in towards my chest and extend the right leg away. And I'm just going to use my hands just to draw that knee just over to the side. And when I get over to the side, I could stay here, or you can stretch your leg out. So you could straighten your leg, maybe reach away through your left hand and try and keep both shoulders on the ground. So rather than getting more twisted over, try and keep your shoulders down. The hips will move obviously, but the shoulders might. So if you've got that leg straight, we'll rebend it and bring it back into the center. So again, you can do your own thing on the other side, or we'll change sides. So bring your right knee in, lengthen your left leg away, and then using your left hand, draw yourself over towards the left. So again, when you get there, you might just stay there with the leg bent. You might straighten the leg out, try and keep your shoulders down. Your gaze maybe along your right hand. Well done. We'll take one more deep inhale. Slowly and carefully make your way, bending the leg first, back into the center. And just draw your knees back in towards your chest. So again, we'll come in for that happy baby that we did at the beginning. And really the purpose of that is just to see how it feels at the beginning. And then how does it feel at the end? Does it feel different? Does it feel the same? Can you not even get into it? I'm wobbling about all over the place here for some reason. I'm in it now. And just breathe into it. And make any movements that you'd like. And then when you're ready, we'll slowly release your feet. So back to the ground, and then we are going to come into Shavasana, but you might want to grab some jumpers or tucks or anything. So do that first, otherwise extend your legs and extend your arms and just come back in for Shavasana when you're ready. So we're going to do a little bit of meditation on this third chakra, so the Manipura Chakra. So it's coming into it when you're ready. Maybe start with 3 long breaths. Allow the body to relax. Allow your breath to soften. And start to bring your focus just above the belly button, where a tiny yellow light spins. The solar plexus light. This yellow light grows slowly, first to the size of a marble,
into the size of your hand. It expands to surround your abdomen, your chest, your upper body, and finally it surrounds your whole body. This is the light of your own self-motivation, the light of your destiny. This light symbolizes your desire to act upon your aspirations and fulfill them. Ribbons of this light infuse your body, starting with the abdomen with warm golden energy, moving to your throat, head, and lower body. This lemon light now surrounds you as a shield of confidence. Filaments of this light infuse your whole body with motivational energy. Feel your confidence rising, and with it, your desire to try new things. Feel your whole being rising to new challenges and overcoming them. Just spend a couple more minutes in silence as you continue to keep this healing light energized. As you breathe, streams of this beautiful light weave in and around your abdomen, infusing you with confident, motivational energy. When you're ready, take a deep inhale through your nose and then just sigh out your mouth. So do that again, so just deeply inhaling and then just let it go. And we'll start to move a little bit, so you can just start with your fingers and your toes. Maybe stretching your arms above your head. Once you bring your arms back round, maybe start to bend your knees and keep your feet on the floor or draw the knees in towards your chest. And you can move a little bit, just side to side. And then just when you're ready, we'll start to make our way up. So taking your time, maybe keep your eyes closed as you come up. So just finding a comfortable seat when you're ready. Bring the palms together in front of your heart. So just leaving a little gap just to signify an openness in your heart. So thank you so much for coming along and practicing with me this morning. I hope you enjoyed our third chakra, so our Manipura or navel chakra. Namaste. Thank you very much, ladies. Well done. Any questions at all, please